Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good night to you all. Hope you've all had a lovely day, whatever it is that you have been doing with it. Because I have not done anything with my day, but that's just how it be. It's still been a good day though, so that's the good stuff. I need to fix this bit now, because now screen up. Now I can actually read the chat using the preview rather than looking all the way over here. Let's go right there. All right. So, the plan for today is to do the arting. Yes. I do the arting, and I will do the arting today. That is the plan. You were legit asleep all day. You were asleep until about 8 p.m., at which point you then just unleashed the servo upon us all. in our servers, like, it's pink time. So the plan today is, starting next week at some point, the timing dependent upon people, we will be running a new little D&D little one-shot. Well, it's not a one-shot, it's like a several sessions long, but like it's a single arc of a campaign. And I have a character, and I should draw said character, and that's what we're doing. I don't do commissions. I should, though. I've been meaning to do commissions for like 4 years now, so eventually I'll get on that, because I'll do it eventually. The issue is that I didn't do art for like 2 months, so I'm like, I don't believe my art is good enough, and I'm not super comfortable with Clip Studio Paint yet. I'm trying to fully transition, but shit's hard. Yes, we're doing a module. We're doing a D&D module. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. That would explain a lot. It explains many things if I'm in the wrong window. Also, my mouse is all the way over here. Ugh, my arm. So, let us close the hello. Just keep poking. Eventually, you'll maybe get a, yeah, sure, I do commissions. Here's my commission sheet. Yeah, this is the cool new look. Okay, oh god. I don't know why the text is down there. Because I have prepared this time, as opposed to last time where I just came in to draw some environments with no preparation. I have prepared. Here, this, at the very minimum, is the stuff that I know about my character. It's obviously there's more detail than this. But the basic gist is that my character is an elf called Nael. She is from Elf, France. Don't worry about it. She's a noble woman. And at some point, she migrated to what I've abbreviated here as Porto Tiana, which is Portuguese Dutch Vienna, because that was how it was described to me in terms of like the cultural inspirations for the location. So I'm like, yes, this is fine. And it migrated because she was exiled from Elf, France for reasons. And then her role in the party is she is a warlock with her patron is the Celestial, and she's the navigator in the little crew that has been established, that we're sailing across the oceans to some far off distant land, and Nael is the navigator. And then I've just got like, she's got gold eyes and copper skin. That's all I remember putting down for that character. So this is the very basics of the sort of stuff that I need to address in terms of designs. Kind of. Character design is hard. So in addition to this rundown, I also have a shit ton of little reference images because it was, Elf France was described to me as Napoleonic. So turn of the 19th century, like 1800 kind of shit. And so I have pulled a bunch of shit. Because one of the sort of standout things about fashion in the 1800s or the early 1800s and late 1700s is that the like the waistline is basically like right under the bust. It's some wild shit. And that's a style that basically only existed for like 40 years and then just disappeared because no one liked it. Well, I'm sure they did, but they completely changed. It's completely different from everything before and after it in terms of the fashions of the time. Kind of. It's loose. A lot of these pictures are actually more 1780s because I mean, it's obviously not Napoleonic France actually because it's fantasy elf France. And then second, I wasn't sure if this character, since she had been exiled from France, would actually dress in the latest fashions of France, aka like all that Regency Empire shit. And so I pulled a bunch of images from pre-Regency shit as well. I don't know which ones specifically. I think it's like this one. I think this one. I don't think it's those two. I think this one. I think it's like these ones or something. I didn't mark it down because they do look sort of similar, like they kind of blend into each other. And I also picked reference images where the waist wasn't extremely high because I don't want to have to draw that. Personally, not a fan of it. Like, it's neat, it just looks weird. And then I've also got some other references, like I've got, because it's a sailing ship stuff, I've got like a sailor from, I think that's Britain in the 1780s? Unclear. And then this was like, I think the French Navy? At some point. She probably wouldn't look like she was French Navy anyway, just because the Navy that she's in is not French. But to be fair, it all just kind of blades together anyway. Like, whatever, right? European. Fashion. I don't understand it. And so these are my references for shit. So now I'm going to drag this out so that it can hover above stuff. You now can't see it because it doesn't capture that properly, which is very, very annoying. So you can't see that there's a little window above. Oh god, oh, whoa, 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 what the fuck? Why did that close? Why did Streamlabs close? Why did Streamlabs minimize? I was literally just doing this. That was weird. Technology is frightening. Anyway, I have my references, which I will show shunt somewhere. Maybe make that smaller. That way it doesn't... Oh no, I don't have to make it smaller. I might make that back to that size, like this, and then I can do that. And now I can actually have space, is the kind of idea. So I probably should make this text smaller, so I'm gonna make those. Because I can read mostly. Sometimes I can read, sometimes I can't, but most of the time I can read. Ooh. Okay. So... Yeah, OBS can be really weird. It's like, I only want to capture a single element of this window. I guess, like, technically the way that it works when you pull the, like, I guess tab out and make it a separate hovering window, it is two separate windows. And I, unfortunately, can't actually do capture desktop because it doesn't work. I'm sure I could fix it if I troubleshoot it for like 3 hours, but I honestly prefer having just a capture window using Streamlabs. So you can't see my references, but if people want to see them later, I can just drag it back in, drag it back out. I can show them off fairly easily. Yeah, I can't read. Exactly, right? Reading is hard. I didn't graduate with great marks, okay? Reading is hard. My English grades were not great. Okay, so... I I kind of want her to wear a dress, but I also don't, because I feel like that makes no sense for a navigator to do. Because I'm drawing her as she would look, or roughly how she would look as she's like disembarking from the ship out of destination. So I don't feel like she's wearing a dress, because she would be wearing that the entire time. She's a navigator. So she's either... Because she could possibly be in the crow's nest, and I do not want to picture the situation of getting someone in a floor-length dress up to the crow's nest. That does not sound enjoyable in any capacity. That sounds like a goddamn nightmare. Just don't do it. So probably pants or breeches. Yeah, English is hard. English is hard. English hard. Difficult. I am not competent in the English. I would almost do the bad French accent, but I feel like that's probably a bad idea. Yeah. I just get like a... Hey, buddy. Bye-bye. That's a body. I know, that's what she looks like. This is probably not a helpful, like, base to work from, really. Oh, for God's sakes. Because I'm not actually great at proportions, either. Pro tip, just don't ask me to draw legs. Just don't. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Legs? No. I've never heard of them. This is not going to be a helpful guide at all, is it? Oh, Jesus. Okay, whatever. So, like, on the one hand, you could go full kind of fancy, because I kind of picture her as looking slightly outdated, because she's mostly just wearing all the shit she still has. Yeah, human body is just 3 circles and 4 rectangles. Yeah. Well, you know. And then you break it down to smaller rectangles, and it goes from there. But, like, you get, like, this kind of dress here, where she's like... and then it just goes... That's got a shawl on it, so I'll get there in a second. Go. And it just goes... Wee. Goes whoosh. How you doing? Good afternoon. Afternoon. And you can also get like a shawl, which is, I think shawls are pretty neat. And that's a person, you know? This is a human being in an outfit. It's literally just that outfit. But, oh, you can't see it, but like, it's literally just basically one of the references. It may be afternoon, but I just finished breakfast. That's a mood. I respect that. Good start of the day to you, then. So even though, like, I like the outfit, because it is just, like, fairly simple and it's pretty cute, it's not something that a sailor would be wearing. Because she's not just, like... She's not a... Even though she's a noble, she's an exiled noble. She's not special here on this ship. She is actually there doing a job. And so she would not just be traveling in luxurious comfort. She's, you know, there to do a job. So she would not be dressed in all of her finery, even though she still has some parts of it. Not the whole wardrobe, but some of it. I don't actually know when she was exiled. Sometime in the last 20 years, I assume. I don't know the timeline of Elf Napoleonic France, so... Unclear. That is not my job. My job is to draw the people. So. Cute? Can't do it. Ah, late evening here on the East Coast. Nice. It is late evening here. Is 11 p.m. late evening? That's nearly midnight. I feel like it's just the dark hours. It is simply the dark hours. Yep. On the one hand, you can't really put her in the fancy dresses, even though they are very fancy. Very cute. On the other hand, she's not going to be dressed like just some sailor. That would be below her station. She's a bit too proud for that. She's fairly chill, But she's a bit too proud to dress like a full ruffian, I think. That is not something that makes sense to me. I'm doing good. I have had a fairly chill and relaxing day, and that has basically been it. I haven't done a whole lot. This is the first thing I'm actually doing today. Or attempting to do, at the very least. I've just been chilling. I don't have to actually do anything until Monday at like 7 in the morning. I'm like, ew. But until then, I am free to just chill. Like, she's not just gonna be... This is gonna be a really bad sketch because it's not gonna be the design at all. I think that's what the jacket's supposed to look like, actually. Oh boy. What? Oh god, that... Like, she's not just gonna be wearing something like this that you would see just any random sailor wearing. It's a really bad depiction of the picture that I've seen. My reference picture looks way better than that. But she doesn't look like this, basically. You kind of have to find the medium between looking fancy and looking practical for what her job is. And a really awesome snack recipe for cookies which resemble coffee beans. Ooh. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, ooh, I want cookies. Yeah. I do want cookies. God damn it. We don't have cookies. We had cupcakes, but they were lemon and it was disgusting. And then they're all gone now, so I don't even have those. I'm like, oh. So now it's just like a bunch of like Tim Tams and stuff. Except not Tim Tams. We don't actually have Tim Tams. I lack the Chucky snacks. So it's devastating. Ooh. I'm gonna open that and save that. So that I can look at it later. And then maybe I can recommend that to the person in my house who actually bakes. Because I know I don't. I mean, I love lemonade. I just don't like lemon-flavored icing. The actual cake tasted fine. It was just the icing was a bit too sour. I'm a very sugar person. I need a shit ton of sugar. The icing was a lot. The icing was a lot of lemon. I assume. I didn't cook it. It was just a lot. There was a lot happening. So I had one out of the, like, 16 that she cooked. Which means 2 people ate 15. I'm like, oh god. Oops. Like, it wasn't awful. It was just, I wasn't expecting it to be that sour. I thought it would be, like, just a nice little sprinkle. Ooh, cookie dough with espresso. Nice. I do like coffee-flavored things. I don't like actual coffee because it's too hot. And I don't like milk, which is the only option to make it not hot, other than just letting it sit there for 10 minutes. So, but I like coffee flavor. Coffee flavor is good. Trying to figure out which sort of design should be the next inspiration. Because we were going to say probably not to dresses. I do kind of like... She's got like a... Hi, Eli! Hello! Hope you're all having a good day. I'm attempting to draw a jacket currently. I don't totally know how this jacket works. This jacket's a little confusing. This neck is also not in the right spot. Because I haven't drawn in a neck for some reason. Unclear. We can do cold brew coffee. Yes! Sure. I'm not that invested in learning how to drink coffee is the thing. I'm happy to let that go. I'm happy to just drink, like, lemonade. Because lemonade is good, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not necessarily missing out on much. That said, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink tea, and I don't drink alcohol. So I'm basically missing all of the drinkable vices, which is a little bit rough. I think she's got like a... I don't know what that looks like. Hold on. I need to zoom the hell in on that. What is her collar doing? Ah, I just woke up not long ago. Nice. Oh, it's fancy. The jacket's fancy. Ooh. Hell yeah. Hold on. Let me just pull this in. I can show it off. Because this is my reference images. I'm still trying to design the character, and what I usually do is I'm just basically drawing a bunch of pictures from reference, and then I'm going to tweak them to suit the character needs. I'm trying to draw this jacket. And I think what was throwing me off is that I thought it actually connected here, but it actually doesn't. It's just, she's just positioned in such a way that two loose sides of it are coming together. Which is a little bit weird, to be honest. So I feel like you wouldn't do that, and you would just have it hang just kind of more direct, the way that most jackets would. Unless, like, no, because it's got the crease, so I'm pretty sure she is pushing it into position. It could also be pinned, yeah. That is true. It might be pinned with a brooch. You can see the buttons, though. So I think it is it's a jacket that can be buttoned, I think. It's just that it's not. Because that looks like a button right there. I'm not totally clear. Ooh. Because I think that's a button, but then there's buttons here. I'm not totally clear. It's not super important. It's just that I had it very small, so I couldn't tell. Cold brew requires a significant time event, so you have to let it steep for 12 hours. Nope. Never mind then. No cold brew for me. No thanks. That's a bit too much effort. I don't know. It's a neat looking jacket. I think I mostly just like it because it's got this really dark chunk and then it's got the nice red. Red is very nice. Red, black, and white. It's a very nice look. So I might not have it fall the same way where it comes in to meet at the middle. But I might like just take inspiration by the fact that it's got the really wide hem on it. And that just goes in the middle. Like that's the shirt kind of shit. You know, just like how most people wear jackets, I guess. It is a very nice outfit, though. I just do like the jacket. He's very fancy. Yeah, the center panel goes down, but it's bent open. Yeah, because she's got her hand, like, behind her back or in her pocket, so she's pulled the whole jacket up over her hand into the back. So I guess it just kind of comes into the middle and then everything falls down, but she's pulled it up. Like that. So this is the forbidden section where nothing is. I don't know. It's interesting. I think the fact that she didn't actually put the buttons in the loops looks weird. So it's got, you know, it's fine. Right? Exactly, Gaslit. Exactly. Yeah, it's not quite straight, but it's not so extreme. Yeah. It's an interesting jacket. I think the way that I'm trying to draw it looks just kind of weird, though, because I'm not really getting the shape right, because I'm trying to copy this, the loop bit. So I think what I would just do, first we'll get the neck back in here, is I'd probably just go for getting a sweep. I guess because of the fact that it's kind of like the... oh god, the way that the figure is proportionate kind of throws like this. That's like the center line of the person. Kind of in purport. Perspective is hard, and I don't see in the third dimension very well. You just kind of get someone like that. And then that's like the edge of it where it's fairly thick. Kind of. And then you get the nice, like, it's a fairly high up collar kind of thing. That doesn't look particularly make sense, but that's fine. And it goes into like a waistcoat at the bottom is what she's got. And then it goes into a skirt is what she would... Okay, it was still... Okay, so it would still connect in the center. Okay, that's gonna make my life difficult. Yeah. Well, let's get the center line in here so that I know where I'm going. Maybe kind of like that, maybe? I guess like it's a sketch, it's not that big of a deal. And then it would just kind of hang to around a point. I'm not sure how long her jacket is. Because the issue is that I also don't know where her waist is. And I know where the approximate waist is on the character that I'm drawing. I don't know where her waist is positioned. I assume that's her waist? Like right here? I guess? So it's basically me just above the waist, but like 2/3 of the way down from her shoulders, kinda. Shit's hard. Because then, like, waist is, like, here. So it's meeting at, like, this point, kinda. Yeah. Well, the issue is that we're operating in, like, the Regency period. Kind of. Or, like, just before Regency. You know, the period where they put the waist, like, in your rib cage. Like, they just put it in there. Like, that's where it starts. Because, like, some of the other dresses, well, not so much here as much, but they just kind of... There are some where, like, this is where she's put her waist. Because this is where, like, her bust is. Her actual waist is down here. Or something. But it's gone... It's a whole thing. It's a very weird time period for fashion. But it's also very cool. Yeah, hope he's having a nice weekend. So I had vacation from work yesterday, but of course couldn't have a nasty cold. Aww. That sucks, Dappy. Hopefully you get better soon. Yeah, waists are usually in the smallest point. But we'll... It's kind of like this, then. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's more like it. I need to do the measurements on it. And then I don't know how long it is. I'm assuming it kind of goes to, like, thigh-ish. Yeah. Yes, true. The waist is still in the same biological place, it's just that they put the line in the clothing in a really weird spot so you don't see the waist. They're not emphasizing the waist, they're doing a whole bunch of other weird shit. Like, that is their vibe. Their vibe is weird shit. Oh. It probably doesn't help that I'm not proportioning... This model is not proportioned very well. Like the actual drawing model. So that's not helping me at all. Proportions are very hard. And then you get, like, down here. You know, I've put them to go out more. Makes them look lithe and tall, and it accentuates the natural form in a very specific way. And that is why we're operating in the, like, just before Regency, before they went really wild on it. Because they did some really weird things with Regency fashion. Some things that I don't really want to include in the character design. Because, oh boy, some of that stuff gets real weird. That is a very bad high collar, but just pretend that's a collar. I'm not very good at drawing collars, even though I'm literally wearing one. Even though I literally have one on. They're really hard to do. Yeah. It's an interesting fashion period, put it that way. So then there's, like, the waistcoat comes in roundish here. Roughly thereabouts. And then, so she's wearing a skirt, so she goes... Are the big arms for functional fashion? I don't know. I think that's just how she looks. I assume that's a functional purpose. But so she had a skirt on, but I think the idea that we've come to is that this character is not wearing a skirt. Because that makes her job harder than it needs to be. Getting around a ship in a skirt sounds like a rough time. And this is a sketch anyway, so it's like it matters. So a lot of the time with, like, fancy people dressing up, you know, on ships, they do a lot of weird shit with the pants. So, like, this is the sailor, and he's got the really, like, whoosh, just vroom, vroom, and then the boots. He tucks it into his boots. Because his pants are probably longer than this. Well, are those tucked in the boots? Oh, those ones aren't tucked into the boots. Those ones are actually just, like, breeches that just kind of hang. So that's, like, those are socks. Okay. I thought those were, like, loose pants. Because this guy just got really, like, he's got, like, capris on. And then it just goes whoosh. He's got his fucking fancy dress pants. They're called breeches, but I went for capris. I don't know why. So I feel like she's probably operating in that kind of idea of, like, just got, like, fairly short pants down to here, and then you get fairly tight socks, and then you get your fancy boy shoes, which I don't draw feet, so let's just not really bother with that. With the people as my witness, I will not be drawing shoes. But you're gonna kind of look kind of like this, which is not awful. I do kind of like this. Yeah, the capris. Yes, they are capris. They weren't called that at the time, but that, you know, we're allowed to do what we want. Oh god, yeah. The good old days when the men were just dressed wildly. Just absolute madmen. Doing absolute, just a fancy peacock shit. And then they just, from like 1700 onwards, they just got really boring. They just had buttons in class on top of the breed. Yeah! And they also had like garters and shit. Just holding up socks and stuff. There were so many things. There's so much the fashions. So this is one idea for her outfit, I think. Where this is way darker because it looks cool. Obviously it'll be proportioned correctly on the actual drawing. It's kind of like this. Yeah. This is just a waistcoat shirt thing. Actually, that means she's wearing a shirt and a waistcoat, doesn't it? No, I think that is just part of the shirt. Just looks funky. Yeah, full-length pants will bloom and poof when stuffed into boots. Yes, they do. Though I think the reference image of the sailor up here, I don't think those pants are actually stuffed. They look like they just flare. They look like they get down to like just above your knee and then they flare out. And then the rest of your leg keeps going. But the basic just holds up. Yeah, pink used to be a masculine color and blue was predominantly feminine. Yes. That was the thing. And that stuff. And then boys used to wear dresses too. We miss those days. Many things have been taken from us in the generations. So that's one costume idea. And then... Right. She's not a pirate. She is not a pirate. She is the navigator in a fleet? Or just like on a specific ship. So she's like, it's an exploratory / trading vessel. So she's definitely like paid by a government of some kind. Or funded by a bunch of like proper people. You know, of the high societies who want that big trade deal with Fantasy China, I think? I think we're going Fantasy China. I don't totally know. I know more about the plot than I say I do. I'm deliberately trying not to remember most of it because I don't want to accidentally, like, God mode it when I get to the game. Why is stream buffering when you started a Steam download? Oh no. God, I hate when that happens. God, I do like this fancy shit. There's a lot happening on around this man's neck. And these are called more like fancy naval. Which she could kind of be operating in that area. These are admittedly officers. She's not an officer. But, you know. Kind of the vibe might work. I think this is specifically the Napoleonic Navy. In as much as Napoleon had a navy that did things. Yeah. A lot of goddamn, well, white poofy dresses because they got handed down. Because why would you buy new clothes for a 2-year-old when they grew out of it fast? Yeah, that makes sense. It's a lot of hand-me-downs over time. That just makes sense. You give them loose stuff made out of fairly cheap materials that washes easily. Thank God. Because if it didn't, it would be very, very bad. Okay, so you get like the up top, and then there's like a little thing in the middle, which is a little bit weird. And that comes down, and that's the collar, and then it goes. Interesting. I assume there's like the shirt collar? I don't know why it looks like that. France, please, stop confusing me. I don't like it. This is why it's perhaps a good thing that I do not read French. Did they have dry cleaning? No? I presume not. I don't think so. Oh, there we go. That's a collar. The collar also comes up here for some reason. I don't know why. Did they have dry cleaning? I don't know. I'm pretty sure. No. I'll be honest. I have never had anything dry cleaned in my life, so like hell I know what dry cleaning is. I use a dryer, dude. Yeah, they had tubs and elbow grease, yeah. You wash it if you have to, you whack it around, and then you hang it up and say dry. And then it goes. And especially if it was like the fancy overwear, because usually in the... like in the upper classes, you basically only wash the underclothes. So like for the women, they had like their chemises and shit. You basically just wash the chemise. The bit that we see as the dress is basically like wearing a coat, but it's the entire outfit. And so, you know, you don't wash your coat every day because you're wearing it over several layers of clothing. You wash your coat like once a month. Same with the dresses. Except because they're wearing them, like they're spacing out the wears because they have like 50 dresses because they're high nobility. You basically never have to wash them. You just don't bother with it. You only wash the underclothes that actually touch the skin, and then the stuff maybe just above it if you have to. And the stuff that touches the floor. So when you have long dresses, well, even then with long dresses, they usually had like the petticoats would get dirty because they actually touch the ground. The dress doesn't touch the ground, it's slightly above it. So the petticoats get washed and the chemises get washed, but the actual dress does not. Unless it gets really messy, and if your dress has gotten messy, you have made a mistake. And the same basic premise applies to the men as well, but I don't know as much about men's fashion. Because for a large chunk of, like, modern history, men's shit looks the same. Whereas at least, like, the dresses look different in every century. The men's shit, she's like, oh, it's a suit. Neat. Cool. You get a little bit bored after a while. Which is unfair. I'm being very unfair to men's fashion. But it looks a lot more similar than the women's fashion tends to look. In between different eras. None of these bits line up properly, but don't worry about it. This is a jacket, and then it gets the funky shit in the back. Posture check. My posture is bad because I am short. Yeah. Exactly. In the lower classes, you just don't have as much stuff going on, really. You've got your, like, 3 chemises, and that's basically all you need. You put an overlayer on because you have to. Except, of course, in the Regency era, where you could basically walk outside in your petticoats. Because Regency was doing some weird shit. God. Regency was a very weird time. How does this man's pants look? He has very long pants. Wow. And then you get the big, tall boots. Again, do not pay attention to the legs. Oh god. I promise I can actually draw shoes. I just do not want to. This lady has gone full chicken leg. She has gone full chicken leg. Dear God. And then it's just like a... Yee. This is probably a bit above her station in a sense, because she isn't a captain, she's a navigator. That's not how this works. So she wouldn't be wearing, like, the captain's uniform. That's for the spider person. The spider person gets to dress up in this kind of shit if they wanna. This is not for the warlock to wear. Plus, I don't know what's happening. I feel like this one just wins on basis of the fact that I put so much more effort into it. That said, I'd probably exchange this for just boots rather than the socks, just because I think boots look better. In general, I prefer boots. So you'd basically take the bottom of this guy, where the fact he's got, you know, pants that just tuck into his boots, and then you would just, you know, give this particular version boots. Just because I prefer boots. Overall, boots look cool. They're also hard to draw, but I own, like, 2 pairs of boots. So it's fine. Meanwhile, I have never owned a fancy thing in my life. Like fancy shoes. Like whatever the hell the other people were wearing. Like, oh god damn it. Like, I'm just like, what the hell is this? Sir, what are these? The support. I don't see it. So in this house we wear combat boots. That is just how it be. God, I put so many dress references, even though I knew I was never gonna do that. I do like the shawl, though. The shawl is cool. The shawl is just a cool look. It's just that I didn't think this character would wear dresses as much, just because, imagine. Trying to climb on the ship's ropes in that shit. Dear God. That almost looks like a foot. That isn't super busted. Oh my god. No. I'm not receiving any goddamn text. Oh my god. I actually have to respond to that. Hold on 1 second. Ugh. It's 11:40 in the evening. You'd think people would stop texting you at, like, I don't know, 10? Apparently not, and my phone's being stupid. Oh my god. Okay, close that. Ay. That's gonna be the next 10 minutes. Oh my god. Holy shit, how many goddamn messages did she send me? Oh my god. Oh, she tried to call me twice and I didn't respond. Oops. Oop, that skipped a word. I did not. No. Alright, that's gonna be the next 10 minutes of my time. Alright. If she calls, I swear to God. If she calls, I'm gonna have to do some shit. The stream will obviously stay up, but I'll have to do some shenanigans. I hope she doesn't, because it's literally nearly midnight. You would think that would stop somebody from doing shit, but sometimes that is not how talking to people in other time zones works. Very, very sillily. It's a whole mess, you know? Like, I didn't ask for this. This has nothing to do with me, basically. I just am the carrier for the messages that don't happen. Long story short, talking to people is annoying. And I don't actually enjoy doing it sometimes. So now I have to have that next to me. Ay. Yeah, it's just, oh, I wish. Can't do that. Unfortunately. She has outsourced the job to me to deal with this, and I'm like, this is not my problem. This has never been my problem. But it has been made my problem by dint of me having the phone that has the things on it, because it's just make my life difficult, apparently. That's just the goal, sometimes. Whoosh. Whoosh. Now, I do like the look. I worry that it's just kind of boring. I'm not like kind of... It looks good. It's just that it doesn't scream noble to me. Because she is nobility. It's just that she's exiled. Maybe that's just like a patenting thing that needs to be included. Like, you get all this kind of line stuff on it. Put some trim on that shit. I haven't been texted again, have I? Oh my god, please. I had to verify something earlier, it didn't even work. So I now worry that my number doesn't work, but I'm pretty sure it does. Should work. No, I still get spam calls, so it should be functional. You would think. Unless the NBN hath struck again. Which, surprisingly, actually, now that I've said it, the stream will probably go down. Because I got NBN on Thursday, and I haven't crashed yet. But it probably will, because it likes to do that. It likes to just not really actually do its job. So one way we could sort of add fancy to it is, so there was the guy that had all this shit on there. I was like, what? Oh my god, look at all this. Maybe not, that's a bit much to me. Though, there was also the fact she has an arcane focus, and I don't know what it is. And it could be, like, a pendant. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop texting me! Wah. And baby, I don't like to be texted. No. Very, very frustrating. You shouldn't go... Now that I've mentioned it by name, it shall appear, like Bloody Mary or, like, Chucky or whatever. I'll just summon that. God, remember Chucky? I don't. I do not remember that. Let's just summon all the ghosts here, it's fine. I don't know, so she has an arcane focus, so it could be like a necklace, which just kind of sits in the crook between the two beds. And there's also, like, you know, rings and shit. Piss is trending under... What do you mean, what did I do? I haven't done shit. I don't think I've even said the word piss on my Twitter today. I don't think I've said the word piss. I'm not responsible for this. I didn't do it. I'm not responsible for this. Which of my close friend in elementary school? I've never seen it, but I remember a bunch of us standing, holding hands around the oak tree in primary school, saying Chucky, 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 and then you close your eyes and you see red, apparently. And it worked once. Singular time, and all of us lost our mind. Because we're all, like, you know, like, 6. No, we're probably closer to, like, 10. We're all, like, unintelligent 10-year-olds. Just yelling Chucky around an oak tree. I know I do, but I'm not responsible for this, surprisingly enough. I didn't do it. I am not responsible. Yeah, Twitter's not great about, you know, function. Well, another thing, she should be wearing gloves. I've elected gloves. Immediately, she has to be wearing gloves. So that helps. That makes shit fancier when you wear gloves. Hold on. Copy. No, let me in. Paste. God damn it. Yeah, we might have started a cult. The cult only lasted for like a week though. So it seems like a pretty ineffective cult if you ask me. I feel like the cult should have lasted longer, but it was not very efficient. We're not very effective at starting cults in, you know, out of suburban Melbourne. We half-ass it entirely. We are very good at that. We're very good at being kind of just mediocre. Apologies to everybody from my primary school. They know who they are, and they probably don't remember this incident. I mean, it was just a one-off thing. We're not very good at starting cults. We didn't even, like, there was, like, hold on. I'm trying to think of any time that anyone in my primary school actually did anything interesting. Yeah, it lacked activities, because you do the one thing where you stand around an oak tree, and then once you do it, that's it. Like, that's all it is. And if you don't want to stand around the oak tree all day, you want to go and do stuff, because you're 10 years old and you're full of energy. Because you haven't experienced the world yet. You haven't grown weary. So, you know, you want to do something other than stand around a tree, and the whole group just splinters off to do other stuff. Some kids playing soccer, some kids playing Pokemon. It's great. That's just how it is. Because nothing interesting has ever happened at any of the schools that I've attended. My uni has probably had interesting things happen, just not while I was there. So, I think the most interesting thing at my high school was one time, like, a year 7 OD'd in the bathroom. And I wasn't even there for that. Like, I heard about that, like, 2 hours later, and I was like, oh, okay. Oops. That was a one-off. Never happened again. I was like, oh, cool. And some kids play soccer while playing Pokemon. Exactly. Was there food? No, see, that was it. We didn't have snacks. We didn't have snacks for the cult. God damn it. Oh, that is the one other thing that was interesting at high school. One time in year 12, we had double English on Wednesdays, where you'd have one class of English, you'd have lunch, and then you'd have second class of English. And on that day, our teacher was not there. He was busy. And so he's like, okay, you're all like 18 years old. You can handle yourselves. I'll tell the teacher next door to come check on you every once in a while to make sure you're not, like, causing a riot. But, you know, do homework. Chill out. And so what happened was a bunch of kids went home early. That's normal. One kid brought in his poker deck, and we started playing poker. And then a couple of kids just left the school grounds, and then came back at the start of second period of English with a pancake maker and all the ingredients for pancakes. And we cooked pancakes in the English block while playing poker and distinctively not doing homework. And that was the best goddamn day of 2017, and I treasure it dearly. It was a very good day. Because, like, other than that, sometimes kids would buy fish and chips and bring it to the common room on Wednesdays. But this was the one time where we cooked. We made goddamn pancakes, and it was fucking incredible. And that was the good shit. That was the peak of high school for me. I didn't even eat a pancake, because I wasn't hungry. But it was a good day. I was playing poker with my laptop next to me, pretending to work. And then the teacher came in, the checkup teacher came in, looked at us all and went, I have to take a picture of this for your teacher. But she didn't tell us off. She thought it was hilarious. She was living it. So she took a picture of all of us, you know, chilling in the room, being unproductive, and said, make sure you do some work, though, and then left. She didn't give a shit, even though I'm pretty sure the entire block could smell pancakes. No one gave a shit. We're like, we was the perfect crime, except that everyone knew about it because we couldn't stop from bragging. But we never got in trouble. And that was the good shit. My only role was to play poker. And honestly, that's just the way you do it. That's just peak. Peak year 12. Because that's the kind of stuff that year 12 should be doing, aside from, like, egging cars. Because apparently someone did that the year before. So we didn't get a muck-up day, because the year 12s from the year before, like, caused property damage. We were like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't even get to, like, spray paint a wall or something. Fuck. I needed the catharsis of doing some easily reversible damage. God damn it. We had a guy kept buying the class Glass bottles of Coca-Cola during breaks between the two wood and metalworking classes. Hell yeah! That's the good shit. That is the good shit. The one kid who has already got his P plates has left the school grounds very secretly and has bought that shit. A sprint? Really? Day, why would you do this to me? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me open the timer. Let me drag the timer to a different screen because I don't have to have it on my screen anymore. I've been told to be productive and I don't like it. I don't like being productive. We'll figure it out. So, hold on. Before I start, I will just outfit win. We'll just say this one wins for now, because I do like it. And what I will do is called hair time, and we're gonna do everything else. So for the next 10 minutes, I am supposed to actually be productive, which is disgusting, and I hate it. But that is what the points hath decreed, and so it shall be done. Oh, for fuck's sake, hold on. God damn it! Fuck. Can I check it's gone? What do you mean check it's gone? Check that. What's gone? What are you talking about? Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try and be productive, but for the record, I'm literally being texted by somebody in a sense that I can't, like, not respond to her messages. So I'm gonna be trying to be productive. And we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 minutes on the clock. Anyone who wants to sprint alongside can. You are free to be productive or to just watch me attempt to be productive and fail miserably. Because that's the way. Okay, so hairstyles. Got very, like, short cropped hair. So it's fucking fancy boy shit. So, like, bun? Fucking curls. God damn. I'm gonna fuck with, like, the curls, though. Ay, ay, ay. Facebook, what do you mean check it's gone? Oh, I know what she means. Okay. Fucking Christ. Your screen definitely isn't showing. Okay. Ay, ay. What? Oh, for fuck's sake. Wrong button. Come on, fucking computer. Ay, ay. Okay, back to art. I'm gonna look drawing fucking curls, yo. On the other hand, hats. Fucking hats. I can't draw hats. I can't draw hats. I'm really, really bad at drawing hats. Yay. I need to draw this back out again. Hold on. So that I can see it. Have it as a reference, I don't have to keep alt-tabbing back to it. Yeah. These are just curls. What the fuck do you draw a captain's hat? What the fuck is happening? What's in this roller? Ay. This color scheme makes you look like a goddamn circus performer. Oh, jeez. I'm basically between these two, I think. This could also be long, because I do kind of like it when it's very long, even though it probably would not be long. I think it just looks cuter. Just with or without hat. I feel like I should just do it with the hat, just because I need to have a goddamn hat in here. Stop texting me. Ay, ay. Door. Door. Oh. And that is the end of the 10-minute sprint. Pause that, pause that, pause that. Okay. So that's the end result. The end result is I drew some hairstyles and scrolled Facebook on purpose. I wish I hadn't had to, but duty calls. And this is basically the look. Oh! A raid! A raid! Ah! Raiders! You come at an excellent time because we just finished a sprint, which means I can actually talk now. So thank you for the raid! Songwriting with Joe and your party of 8. Welcome! This is a new name. I haven't seen you around before. And you've been guided by P2 Pootu. Very nice. So welcome to everybody who's come with the raids. That's Keely and Songwriting with Joe and Do You Hear Music? Hello. Welcome, everybody. What I'm doing here today is I'm attempting to design my new D&D character, who is an elf warlock from Elf France, who is a navigator in a fleet. And that is her backstory. There's more to it, but that's the backstory. Yes. I'm good, Joe. Hopefully your stream went well. You're welcome, Keely. I wouldn't think it would be that hard to pronounce, but some people aren't as familiar with names. It happens. Oh, stealing your emote. P2 Pootu is stealing emotes. Such a criminal. So what I currently have is I've done a very rough sketch of the character's design based on a bunch of references to fashions of a time period, of a time, of like 1800 and thereabouts. Just a bunch of pictures that I pulled from like Wikipedia and Google. And now I have a character's design, and what I'm going to do next is put down some really rough colors trying to figure out the idea, and then hopefully I will at least begin to do a proper sketch of the actual character with that design. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Joe! Yay! Yay! So now it's colors time. I only have some of the colors planned out. Well, I have like 2 of them, which is that she has gold eyes and like copper skin, but that doesn't mean anything. So I've got that part done and nothing else. Remember a colors layer. And then I can find a coppery color. That's kind of like copper, right? Well, copper is actually kind of more pinkish. Yes, I'm drawing with a tablet. Hold on, let me just attempt to pull it up. I have a tablet. I have an old tablet. This is an Intuos 4, I believe. I've had this for like 6 years? This is an old tablet. It is worn to hell. And there's a crack in its line displays. A lot is happening with this tablet. A lot is happening. Thank you, Jack. So, get close. Throw your mouse grip to me. Mouse art is very impressive, though. Some people have done some very impressive art with mouse. Whereas I have to have the tablet because my hand, I need all of the hand, I need the maneuverability of the hand. You know, make a wee. Because if I try to do that with my mouse, it's kind of like, oh god. It would be nice to get a new tablet, but it still functions. Because I don't actually use the buttons, because the little display is the, like, quick buttons that's on the side. Because it's got, like, an information... no, let me out. It's got a bunch of buttons so you can hit, like, put hotkeys on it. And I've tried to use them before, but I don't like how they feel. I prefer to have the keyboard with my, like, my left hand's using the keyboard, my right hand's drawing. So they don't really matter if there's a crack in the little display of it. The wearing down's probably a bigger problem, but that's like 6 years of using older nibs. I think this one's fine at the moment, though. I have a bunch of spare nibs, but I'm gonna have to replace it at some point. Ah, yeah. Use one button for shift. Yeah. Shift is a good hotkey to have. I briefly tried to have it be so I didn't have to use the keyboard at all. I had the button set for like Control Z, Control Y, Control V, Control C, that kind of stuff. I tried to make it as only using the tablet as possible, but it just doesn't... It didn't feel comfortable to use because there's 8 buttons and they're fairly thin. Like, they're long and thin. So I was just like, no. So I just don't use it. I currently have it set to zoom. I'm using the wheel and it goes zoom. That's the only thing I know what it does. That's cycle layers. Oh, that works. Hey, I have the layer cycle. This is the brush size. It makes it go bigger. And this is rotate, but I don't think that works. Oh shit. Never mind. Whee! Now this is kind of fun. But I probably shouldn't do that. Just refresh that. I'm gonna send that back to zoom. Because that's at least like a usable key toggle. Can I get like digital keyboard so you can record beats again? Nice! Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna set a skin layer. And we're gonna just get... Because I had to erase the actual body layer, but that's like just like where that is. Those are gloves. So that's just the face. So the skin color is kind of set. It's everything else that needs to be done. Oh, digital pianos. Ooh. I think I technically have like one of those really cheap ones somewhere in a corner. But I'm not very good at music, unfortunately. Which feels awful to say now that I'm surrounded by people who are very interested in music. My hands don't do music very well. I was atrocious at like guitar especially. I was very bad at guitar. Oh god, it has been a long time since I've done that. Okay, I'm gonna just chuck in a dark brown for the hair for the minute. That might change, but we're just chucking a dark brown. Because dark brown tends to look pretty good. There's a jaw hub. Ooh. Ooh, so you're buying a piano off Amazon. Nice. Can I recommend a drawing tablet? Ooh. It's kind of hard because, like, as I mentioned, I've had this one for 6 years and I didn't actually buy it. My sister did. And Intuos... The Wacom tablets are fairly expensive. So, especially if you're trying to buy a first tablet and you've never used one before, I would not recommend buying the big Wacom ones. Or Wacom. Branding. Don't buy those ones. They're fairly expensive. They're good, but they're expensive. So you'd probably be better off looking into, like, I think it's called Huion? It's like Huion. That's a really bad O. There's like, I think Huion is a fairly good, like, budget brand from what I've heard. But obviously, like, if you're looking into buying tablets, I would recommend looking up, like, art YouTubers who have done reviews. So I know that, like, people like Draw with Jazza have done reviews of budget tablets. And there's going to be way more than that as well. And so I'd recommend that if you're starting out and you want to try a tablet, that you should look up a bunch of reviews by like professional artists and see what they say about them. Lots of them are sponsored, but they'll usually say that. And if you watch a bunch of them, you'll get a sense of what things work and what don't. So I've heard Huion is good. There are probably more, but I don't remember their names. That's the only brand that I remember. But Wacoms are very good. And they do have some budget options for, like, Wacom ones. But I don't know how good they all are. Because I've never used them. I've only ever had Intuos tablets. And they're a, like, mid-range Wacom tablet. Because there's, like, the really cheap ones, the Intuos, and then there's, like, the Cintiqs, which are the ones with, like, an actual display on them. Where you just draw directly onto the image. That shit's expensive. That's like $1,000 each. I'm like, oh god. My budget. Reviews by regular people is also good, especially if they're not sponsored. That tends to help too. Because, like, obviously sponsorships can, like, slightly skew their perspective of the reviewers, and a lot of the big artists get these tablets to review them, and they get them for free to do that. So, getting reviews from people who haven't gotten it for free and have paid for it with their own money, also a good idea. Just look up a bunch of reviews for budget drawing tablets, and that tends to give you a good, like, range. Because a lot of them are pretty good, especially if you're not doing, like, super whiz-bang stuff with it. And if you're, like, starting out with art, you do not need a whiz-bang tablet. You honestly don't. One thing is that, like, one thing that always... My friend had a really small tablet. Like, really tiny. It was like... Do I have something the equivalent size? Hold on. This is gonna look really weird. As an example. This is the closest thing I have to the size. This is a Xbox controller box. This is like how big his tablet was. And then you compare it to mine, which is huge. Oh god, it stuck my mouse again. Like, mine is big. This is the equivalences, right? But his computer screen was the same size as mine, which means that if you do a stroke on the tablet, like you move the pen, it makes a way longer line on the screen because of proportions, right? You can work around that because some tablets let you, like, only draw on a certain chunk of the screen, so you can make it more one-to-one. But smaller tablets will often, you know, if you want to fit the whole screen, like your whole computer screen on the tablet, and you have a small tablet, you move a little and it moves a lot on the screen. So that's one thing to consider. So, like, sometimes you don't want to buy the smallest model, which is the cheapest one. You buy, like, the middle size option, because then it's maybe a little too small for your screen, but it's not, like, too small, if that makes sense. That's my personal preference, though. I think I used his tablet once in class because I hadn't brought mine, and I was like, oh, interesting. And it was just so whoosh. It felt really awkward to use for me. But of course I have one that's not too much smaller than my computer size. So I was like, that makes sense. Yeah, what's the thing called a budget? And it's lunch, but I'll leave a lurk. Hope to catch you around soon. Yeah! See you around, Joe! I'll have to make sure to come and check in on your stream sometime if I'm obviously not live when you're streaming at the same time. Where'd I put my tablet pen? Oh no. Hold on. Okay, I found it. I'd see you, do you hear music? Thank you all for coming around. It was a delight to meet you all. Yay! I found the pen. Also, pro tip. If you don't want to lose your pen, get a pen holder. Get a pen holder. My tablet came with a tablet pen holder. Get a pen holder. And then basically what you do is every time you go to put your pen down, you put it in the holder. And it means you're like 50% less likely to lose it than everybody else. Because the whole joke about tablets is that if you put your pen down, you don't find it for 10 minutes. So if you have a dedicated spot to put it, it helps. I probably should also, like, put, like, a colored string on it. If you put colors on it so that it stands out, also a good idea. Because the reason I couldn't find it just now is that my desk is black, my computer is black, my tablet is black, the pen holder is black, the pen is black, and my seat is black. Everything is black here except for the wall. So I couldn't see it. So, also pro tip, just like put like a colored like string on it, like a post-it note or something. Also a good idea. Just combo it, paint it, I don't care. You have the power. Color things, you'll see them. These are my strategies. So this is jacket, base. So the reference image was red. Oh, thank you for the follow, do you hear music? Yeah, what if you forget to put the pen in the holder? I said it reduced the chance that you lose it, not that it negates it completely. So, you know, if you forget to put it in the tablet holder, then you're back at square one. But if you remember to put it in the holder, then you know where it is. So, as long as you remember, you know where it is, and if you don't, well, you're the same as everybody else. No one knows where anything is. Everything gets lost. Then you'll be looking around for 20 minutes. Exactly. That's just how it is with tablet pens. They're just super easy to lose. And some tablet pens are like really short too. Like some designers do not make tablet pens that you can actually find. Like, even though it's not a tablet, like, you know, like Nintendo DS styluses? Sometimes you cannot find those things. I lost a stylus for a Nintendo DS for like 3 years because it was tiny. It was like this big. It was black and it was on dark gray carpet under a chair. And I didn't find it for 3 years. And then like randomly while vacuuming, someone found it and I was like, oh my God. Because it was tiny. Like it just wasn't very long and it was completely black. Can't find that. Whereas some of my ones are like silver and white or like orange or blue. And I'm like, I can see it. So, you know, just, you gotta find ways to keep track of your little pens and stuff. Or you get like 7 of them. You do what I do. You forget you put it in the holder and look for it for a couple of hours anyway. That also happens. Oh, you lost your DS stylus ages ago. It's still lost. It's somewhere. Maybe you'll find it. You gotta buy a new 3DS pen. Oof. Oof. No thanks. I've never had to do that because I usually had spares. Because I've had 3 Nintendo DS's. Technically 4 if you count my mom's DSi. So I've got a lot of spare styluses, so if I lose one, I have spares. It's just they don't fit in the slot properly. Because like, when they did the new 3DS like redesign, to change the, well, it was the new 2DS, sorry. They did the new 2DS redesign. I think it's the same as the new 3DS one as well. But when they did that, they changed where the stylus slot goes. They changed it from going in on the side, so that it has a lot of, like, horizontal space, to it goes in on the bottom, so it has to go vertical. And so they made them really short to accommodate. And I'm like, these are toys for children. This is a choking hazard, Nintendo. And that's the one I lost, because it was tiny and black, even though the DS was white and orange. I was so confused. It was a really strange decision that they made, and I didn't like it. And that's why I don't use that tablet, that stylus pen. You've lost them all. Had like 8 of them because some of them broke. Ugh, no. Because I had a DS XL, which was the Mario edition one. That was my first DS. My mom had a DSi. Then I bought a 3DS XL where the hinge snapped because I dropped it on concrete outside of my locker in high school. And then I bought a new 2DS XL, which is white and orange and still functions. And those are my 4 that I have. But the one hinge just snapped. The DS one also snapped. I've snapped 2 DS hinges in my time. One of them I dropped on the bathroom floor, and the other one I dropped at school. And it just, whoop, it's just gone. Currently, the broken 3DS is with a friend because I wanted them to play Pokemon, and they're not, and I'm like, that's fair. So, you know, it's fine. Okay, gloves. And then I need boot. Need a boot layer. Yeah. White 3DS XL. Oh no. I do play Pokemon. I have one game from every generation from Gen 4 onwards. So I have Pokemon Heart Gold, Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon White 1 and 2, Pokemon X, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Pokemon Moon and Ultra Moon, and then I'm currently, my friend has lent me their Switch, and I have Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Sword. So aside from the fact that I don't own a Switch, I have played Pokemon. I haven't played anything pre-DS era Pokemon though, because I didn't own a Game Boy, unfortunately. New bestie. Pokemon is good. I like Pokemon most of the time, except when they do silly things. No, Let's Go. I don't have Let's Go. No. Well, because I'm playing on a lent Switch, and my friend does not own Let's Go. So I haven't actually played Johto. Johto is the only region I haven't played, because I've beaten Heart Gold. So I've beaten the Elite Four in Heart Gold. It took me like 8 years, but I eventually did it. Because I bought Heart Gold when I was like 10, and I didn't know what I was doing. So then like 8 years later, I finally beat Lance. And then I got to Kanto, sorry. Kanto. I haven't played Kanto. Because I then got to Kanto after beating Elite Four and went, what am I supposed to be doing here? And then I just stopped playing. So I didn't finish the post-game. But that's the only region I haven't played, is Kanto. I've played every other region. So maybe I should eventually... I don't have a Discord server, unfortunately. I didn't think I would need one. Technically I have one, but that's for me to yell in. I have a yell server for yelling. But I have many opinions about Pokemon. I have a lot of opinions about Pokemon. This character looks like a circus trainer. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm trying to think what my favorite Pokemon game is, and I actually can't pick one right now. My favorite is either Pokemon Moon or Pokemon White 1, I think. White 2 is good, but I prefer White 1 though. Hell yeah. People, we do be having opinions. Okay, so this is one color scheme that we could use. I should probably put in an eye section too. Hold on. Eyes. I need yellow. A goldy yellow. Let's get a goldy yellow on here. I'm gonna put this in some itty bitty dots. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the old ones. Well, I say that. No, I basically like all of the DS ones, or at least I like something about them. That said, Gen 6, I don't like. In general. Kind of. I have a lot of complicated feelings about Gen 6. I have very complicated feelings about Gen 6. That's X and Y, right? Yeah. I have very complicated feelings about X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Like, they're not awful, but some parts of them are not good. So I have divided feelings. And then I don't like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I was like, what? Because it's basically an expansion pack, but I have to buy it again at $60, and I'm like, excuse me? What? It's the same game, but it changes at the very end. Are you kidding me? So I don't like Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. But every other game, I don't like Platinum either. With a lot of caveats, I like the DS Pokemons. And I don't hate Pokemon Sword that I've been playing through. I'm currently at Kirchester, or Sirchester, or whoever the hell that British people would pronounce the name Sirchester? Sester? Listen. So I've just beaten the Rock Gym. And I don't hate it, but it's definitely not my favorite. It's probably not my least favorite, but we'll see how that goes. When I finish it, we'll see what I feel about it. Yeah, the beast. And then, yeah, the DLC. Ugh. I don't like the DLC on principle. I don't hate DLC on principle. I don't like the Sword and Shield DLC because if you don't own it, they put in an event in one of the early towns where you catch like a Galarian Slowpoke, and you can't evolve it without the DLC, and that just infuriates me. So I don't like the DLC, even though I have not played them. I am not a fan. I think it is silly. I think they have done a silly thing with the DLC, and they've made it a frustrating experience. And also, they didn't put Cyndaquil in the base game, and that upsets me. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot, actually. What's the best way to do this? Actually, I will just take a screenshot. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this color scheme so I can keep track of all of them. The DLC just more areas. Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not awful. It kind of makes sense, you know? To be like, hey, here's the game, but more of it. So that's like, you know, not a bad thing. But the fact that they introduced it to me as a first-time player with giving me a Pokemon that I couldn't evolve without paying money just turned me off the whole thing. Because I'm like, what? Huh? No. And it's just Pokemon Go with the hunts. Okay. Yeah. Doesn't sound super appealing to me. Not that I'm gonna buy it anyway, because it's not my Switch and it's not my game. And I don't think my friend wants the DLC either. So I'm just like, it's fine. Okay, so I guess first color thing to change would be trying out a different color hair. I kind of like the gold. The gold is kind of cute. I just really like dark skin and light hair, so I really like the gold. But we could also try like a blue as well. Oh, like a lighter blue. Just like a lighter blonde. No, I like the saturated goldy blonde. It looks like an ugly color down here. It's not a great yellow, but it looks nice in hair sketch, which is good. We'll try the yellow, and then there's all of these pants. Because these people are dressed in yellow. Oh, your doggo needs the loo. Oh god, the doggo can't wait. The doggo cannot wait. It must be dealt with urgently. Color schemes. I do kind of like the idea of maybe blue. Maybe a blue color. Not that kind of blue. More like this kind of blue. Because that kind of takes you away from circus. Because we're looking a little circusy. Obviously it can be more fancy, but I think that looks a bit better. With the blue. Then shirt stays white. The gloves can change color to perhaps also white. Because I am still a little bit fancy. As a character. I'm not fancy. This is not fancy, but like, the character is fancy, so she can probably have white gloves. And then I need to fix the pants. Because he's tucked they're like light colored. What is happening here? I think I need more references for what dudes' pants look like. To pick the colors for this. Ah, jeez. Or like this, because like, most of the time they have short pants, socks, and then thing, but I've gone for boots. And this guy has white pants, and that's a little bit nonsense. That's because he's an officer, and officers do not dress sensibly. Which is why things did not go well for them in World War I. This is why we all wear camo now. We don't wear bright blue. Then again, navy, blue makes sense. White doesn't. Blue kinda does. It's just, you know, Like, the navy blue doesn't look awful, but I mean, at that point, you're on a boat. You're not really camouflaging with anything. The hat's the main giveaway. Don't wear the hat. I do kind of like their jacket has the color back, though. That's something I hadn't considered. Is having a different colored underside. So in that case, they used red. They used a kind of red underside. So there's like a peak of red in that bit kind of there. I kind of like that too, because that's just very fancy. Ooh, an article showcase. Okay, okay. We can do that. We can do an article showcase. We can show off some other creative work. Let's... Oh, I need to set up my thing again. Oh, I need to close Facebook. Close that. Close Twitter. I'm gonna set up a transition screen so I can test that properly. Okay, does it work? Okay. We can get there. I can make this work. I'm gonna close Pometroid as well, because I think we'll get another sprint in. Okay. There we go. So we'll take a short break from drawing. I promise I'll get back to drawing soon. But we're gonna show off Kashatan's little world building article about the Charged Fire Blast spell. Because we are just creative streamers and we just do things. And we talk about creative things and Pokemon. So, the Charged Fire Blast is one of the most common pyromantic spells and is relatively easy to learn. Technique. Footwork and position of the body are the most important components of the spell. The magic user has to put their right foot forward and keep their left foot perpendicular to the right. Okay. Then the magic user has to produce a spark of fire between their hands and move the hands backwards. Oh god, okay, more showcases, alright. Moving the front of the left foot up and keeping it just on the heel is also important. Then the magic user moves the hands forward while increasing the spark's power. At the same time, they put their left foot on the ground and move... Okay, we've changed pronouns abruptly. So move their right foot up and stay on its toes. Okay. When the hands are at the front, the magic user opens them and sends the blast forward. Skilled pyromancer can do the whole sequence in less than a minute. And incantations are only needed to produce the spark and start the power increase. When the magic user opens their hands, the spark has enough power to fly by just with the strength with which it was pushed by the caster. Okay. So, right foot forward, left foot perpendicular, then you produce a spark, you move your hands backwards. Then you move your left foot up and on the heel, and then your hand is forward, hand down, right up on the toe. I think the footwork part's confusing me, because I kind of understand the hands, because you basically just produce a spark, move your hands backwards, and then at some point you move it forward and just go boosh. Oops, my headphones flew off. Right foot forward, left foot perpendicular. It can't just be like right down in front. You have to do it like with distance, I think. Like I said, I am sitting down. That's probably not helping my form. And then left foot up. Oh, okay. How do you keep just on the hill with that angle? Front foot on the heel is while you move the hands back. Okay, so they basically take a step forward and put the left foot on its heel, and then they complete the step, and then they start moving with the right foot and land with the toes first, and that's when they go whoosh. Okay, so it takes like 2 steps. Like you step forward twice. Once with your left and then once with your right. And that's how you complete the section. Because I can't really imagine how you would have your left foot on its heel in the back. That sounds uncomfortable and is hurting my ankle just to try. So I'm assuming you basically take a step forward with the left, land heel first, and then take a step forward with the right with your toes first. Okay. And then your hand's going... Something like that. I do like that it's described how to do it, so that we can all do funky shit in the privacy of our own rooms where no one can see this, except for people watching on stream. That's why the door is closed. No one can see this. No one can see me just trying to do a bunch of footwork while sitting down. I do like that though. I like that it's described, that you know, like how to do it. And that shit is interesting. Like it actually, like, you know, it gives some kind of like physicality to the spell. Like it feels tangible as opposed to just, and you cast Firebolt. Like, how do I do that? Whoosh. There's an actual like sequence to it. And I find that very, very interesting. Uh-oh. Alien wants to show off a map. Oh, okay. Okay, is this gonna crash my browser again, Delian? I hope not. Oh, it's Soleil Leary. I don't know how, is it Soleil Lear? Sorry, Hummingbird. Ooh. Ooh. Capital Chester. Large Townton. Townby. Ceylon. Who knows? Okay, so it didn't crash yet. This looks really nice. I don't remember what her last maps of Soleil Lear looked like, but this does look very nice. Like all these little C's that we got. Got a whole lot of C's. We got a funky straight. Ah, this looks cool. Yeah, I figured you were testing the markers. I love it. Oh, because they're custom markers. Oh, so they look very natural positioned in there. Oh, and it's a hex map too. Ooh, fancy. These funky little trees. Oh, there's a little triangle tree. Hell yeah. Oh, there's more triangles. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice little detail. There's more like triangles up top. There's a, well, it's not necessarily, but like, there's a lot of triangles and there's circles too. Ah, it's cool. Oh, because that's like the equator. Okay. Oh, that's a whole, oh, okay. Ah, it's cool. I like it. I don't have a seal of approval to offer, and it wouldn't matter much anyway, but it looks really nice. It's a very nice looking map. I'm sure that Hummingbird is very excited to have this map to play around with, and to put in all of her markers and plot the journeys of her people in it. I have no idea what she's doing, but I'm excited to see it. Looks so cool. So many details. I like this little tree right here. This tree is my favorite. Because it looks kind of like a duck. But only kind of. If you squint at it, it looks kind of like a duck. I'm thinking about ducks. I was like, yay. You played a jigsaw puzzle of it yesterday in Tabletop Simulator. Aw, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, jigsaw puzzles. Oh, I should make my tabletop group play Jigsaw with me. God damn it. That's an idea that is too powerful. I should not have been given that idea. Okay, I'm gonna close Chrome again. Actually, wait. We can, well, do I need Chrome open still? Visible anyway. I have it open. We're trying to find pants. Trying to find pants. But I reckon I don't need to show that. Because we were trying to find a different color for pants. Which I'm pronouncing weird, I don't know why. Pants. One thing that they do like to do, at least like in Frenchy, but like... Oops, that's the wrong... Oh, that's shirt, not pants. But it's pants! Pants? Pants is down here. Okay. Is they make the pants the same color as the shirt. No, as like the jacket. You have to rip it for pain. Oh, I can imagine. Oh, God. Just a whole bunch of just all the little wave lines going on. I do like the subtle, like, texturing in the waves, though. Where it gets, like, the darker further out sort of stuff. It looks really nice. I like the texture. The issue with making the pants same blue is that it looks just kind of weird to me. I don't know why. I don't know why blue pants look weird. I own like red pants, so I'm one to talk. Red pants. I have red pants. I don't know. But the blue kind of looks nice. Maybe I'd make it a different shade of blue. Maybe it needs to be a bit darker. Or for both. That was kind of nice. Let's get a screenshot of this one, sir. Where? Here we go. So I have 2 of them. Oh, I changed her hair back to brown. Oh. No, I wanted it to be blonde. Oh, maybe I don't want it to be blonde. Oops. No, it's fine. Your pants are black. Mine are mostly black and navy blue, but then I have a pair of red pants, a pair of gray pants, and a pair of pants that have a gradient that goes from green to white. And now, in my defense, I bought them on special. It was like 5 for 20. And so I bought just 5 pairs of pants. And for some reason I bought ones that went from green to white. They're ugly as sin, which is why I don't wear them outside. I say that, I've probably worn them outside. But I'm just like, Most of them are black. Because they go with more things. The red pants are just my chill pants. Oh, I have like pink, I have like a pink pair of pants, but they're like very like summer pants. And they're very summer pants. They're very like cool. Not like cool to look at, like cool to wear. Breathable fabrics, etc. And I bought them with a gift card, so it was like $0. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. That's the shit. I spend 90% with gift cards. Which is the good stuff. I'm trying to pull up the... Oh, I already have documents open. Oh, that was quick. I'm trying to pull up the screenshots so that I can actually compare them to each other more easily. So if I drag this... Hell yeah! So this is the first color where it was red. Then I did a blue one, and then I did another blue one with brown hair. I definitely prefer the blue ones off the bat. I think the red one looks too circusy, for lack of a better term. It would look better if there was a skirt, but I didn't do the skirt. Because the skirt would then presumably be red. And I don't think this person would want to wear red pants. I'm torn on whether the blonde looks better. I feel like the brown actually looks quite nice with this outfit. But we might try another blue combo for this to give it a little bit of variety. Because you could also try just the blue with the black pants. Not that shade of black. But then the shoes do not stand out at all. When they probably would. Part of that could be like a texturing thing where it would show up more obvious. Okay, ease live, refresh. For fuck's sake. So this is why you don't mention anything about your internet. Ever. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You provoke the dragon. You curse yourself with the mere insinuation of its existence. I wasn't sure if it would need a refresh, but I figured that if anyone's just like checking in a chat to be like, hey, refresh, it should come back to be live now. My internet didn't even go down though, so I'm a little confused. So just don't mention it. Do not, just don't. Don't risk it. Don't do it. Don't. Hard don't. Don't do it. God. At least y'all didn't have to hear me swearing at my internet. I hit exit on that one. Okay. Let's get a screenshot of this one where it's brown and black. Let me get to open this one as well. Whee! So those are like the 2 options. I feel like I prefer the black boots. Overall. I kind of like the hat too. The hat's kind of cute. On the other hand, I don't know how I feel about the blue pants. The blue pants are a little silly. So I don't know how I feel about blue pants. The red was out, and this is the blue but blonde. I think I decided the blonde was out of the running. Even though the blonde isn't bad, it probably looks better when you actually draw it. I do like the brown with the goldy eyes. And then obviously the gold can feed into like rings and shit and a couple of accent pieces. Possibly even the underside could be a goldy color. That could be kind of cool. You always include like buckles and all that stuff. And then possibly a ribbon in the back. Because she has to tie the hair up with something. So one presumes, perhaps, that there's a ribbon going on in there. Tuck that in with like a yellow for a second. Something like that. Maybe not in yellow, though. It might be more of a, possibly in the red color. Or like whatever the underside is, which could be red. Or could be yellow, who knows. Kind of feed like an extra like accent color in. Does it have a little bit of funk, a little bit of fanciness to it. Possibly also taking in the color of like whatever the actual heirloom looks like, which I don't know what the arcane focus looks like. I'm obviously going to have to actually like draw this properly. This is not a complete drawing in any capacity whatsoever. It would do, but I'd like to be a bit fancier than that. And I only have 10 minutes and I try not to stay up late now. So that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for me. I don't know how I feel about the brown. And then, where was the pants one? The pants one was... Oh, I got rid of the blue. Oh, that's silly. You... Dupe. Try like a darker blue, though. Oh, maybe not that dark. Like a slightly darker blue. Just to make that feel a bit better. So it's like, there's three shades of blue. Blue, deep navy blue, and black. Now, black isn't blue, but you usually use like a dark blue for black anyway. A dark desaturated blue. So I feel like that works. That kind of alleviates the issue I was having. I feel like you would probably keep that red, so it's blue, red, and then the gold accent of the eyes and a couple of the jewelry pieces. I like the white gloves too. They're cute. So that's the kind of idea for what Nael Dakir Odelia looks like. That accent did not stick with that word the whole way through. Nael Odelia. Odelia. Nael. Oui, oui. I do not speak French. I do not speak Francais. It is not good. The accent is very, very bad. Oh no. Oh dear. That looks... Oh, I don't know why. Is that the right texture? Oh, I guess it is. It just looks really weird for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of the lightness of the color. It kind of blends in too much. There we go. Because then there's like the pendant, which is going to serve as the arcane focus, because I figured arcane focus is probably a good thing to have. And it could just be a very simple pendant, but it probably should be fancier than that. And the one thing is that even though this isn't really warlocky, I think is the one issue here. So this is very much like a standard fancy outfit. It's not really giving warlock vibes. So I think what you would do is you'd probably do stuff like lengthen the coat so that it sort of has a bit more wave potential, because like cloaks and shit. You could possibly add a cloak, but I probably wouldn't. So you'd basically just make the coat longer. You'd probably add a bit more like fluff to the chest part, like with like the cravat. Sure. You might add a bit more there. And you'd obviously probably put patterns in it. That kind of stuff. To add a bit more of that magic-y flair as opposed to just looking kind of standard sailory, fancy sailory type, which is kind of what I've gotten here accidentally instead of doing anything actually like cool. And then there's the fact that she is a celestial warlock, so her patron is the celestial. She's super into stars. That's why she's a navigator. She really likes like space and like sky shit. He's a big fan. So one thing to add, like, into sort of, not so much hint at it, it's not exactly subtle, but to, like, add that in more would be to give her, like, a star thing. Kind of like that. That didn't work out quite as well as I hoped. Because there's a lot longer one. You just kind of do some really bad shading on it, and that way it looks kind of like a star. Yay! And that could be kind of the heirloom. Or you can make it fancier than that, but I don't think I'll draw this initial thing in enough detail for that to really matter, per se. And obviously stuff like the trim, like maybe like these little buckles. So like in the reference, they're just like stripes, but they could be like star little, like, or like just circles that kind of suggest stars in some way. There could be a, like, you know, the bottom of it might have that same trim going along. So like the bottom of it, because it'd be like, you know, like that, and then it goes like around the back. So that could have like a cool pattern on it, or it could just be like a star pattern the whole way along all the trim of it, wherever that trim goes. Probably is a good idea to add a bit more star shit to her wardrobe. Because she's fancy. She's a noble. She should be dressed fancily. Be very, very fancy. Okay. I'm checking. Okay, because it's a Sunday now. Okay. I feel like since I went down for like it was like a minute, but I figure I'll just take like that extra like 5 just to try and wrap up the ideas that I have. Ideas? Accents. Hard. Very, very difficult. Oh, thanks, Twitch. Do you want to use your mobile dashboard? No, I don't want to use my mobile dashboard. Because you started a new stream. Like, yes, I did start a new stream, Twitch. Not deliberately. I'm gonna have to edit the episode. Oh my god. Aye, aye, aye. You have like a gold star little thing, and then maybe the trim is sort of, oh, have to hold on. This makes sense. Oh wow, that was a bad star. And yeah, it kind of stars like this. Stars? Stars. You get the stars, and that's the trim that works the whole way down. And the idea would be that the stars are big enough such that you, like, that's where the button goes. Like, the button comes through here. In the center of the star, if you were to button the jacket. If you're not buttoning the jacket, you're probably pinning it to the undershirt in some capacity. Maybe with a brooch, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't think we came to a conclusion on that. I think that is just how it folds. I think that's an open jacket that just kind of folds like that. But that kind of idea of it, I think, makes sense. I'm not sure about the red ribbon, or even the red on the side. Those might turn out to be silver, perhaps. Not totally sure. And then the hat is probably mostly plain. It could have a ribbon on it, so that could also enforce this color here. Like the ribbons are the same color on it. Because the example is unadorned, but there's also like the ladies' hats which are adorned. Like with all these big ribbons and shit. That is on a layer you can't see. Ribbons and shit. Ribbons. So since this is a lady of nobility, though she is not operating as such in this context, she's just chilling, you could easily go for a nice little ribbon accent on her hat. And that looks kind of cute. That kind of helps with the red, I think, if it pops up in a couple more places. It could also show up in the star if I want it to. Like, it could be like a gemstone in the star. So there's a bit of red reinforced throughout the outfit. And then the stars could be gold. They don't have to be. Otherwise the white feels a little isolated, but then again, the jewelry is going to probably be gold, so it stands out against the white gloves. So maybe all of the accents should be gold. Oh, I need to grab the gold that already exists and just go. You can try it with the gold. Just bulldoze that color there. Ooh, that's gonna change all the colors. Nope, we're good. And then I would just erase it from the black spot. Something kind of like that. So it's basically just a blue outfit with a white shirt with a bunch of gold accents. And then red, like gold accents. I think kind of makes sense. I think that looks kind of nice, though, like the idea of it as a combination of little elements that I've pulled together to make something happen. And surprisingly, she's not blonde, which is what she was going to be originally, and now she's not. So congratulations, she's not blonde. A first in design. For me, anyway. For some reason, a lot of the characters tend to be blonde, or like a very light color, like redheads. Surprisingly, she's not a redhead. Because that also happens. Something like that. It's mostly just then adding details. So I guess what I should do before I head off in any capacity is I should note, so make coat flowy. Oh, I cut that off. That's mean. So make the coat flowy, I think is the main idea of it. And this is just floof for days, just absolute chaotic floof. Well, it's mostly like curly floof, but it is still definitely a little bit of floof. And then all the jewelry is gold, or predominantly gold. Most of it's just gold bands, but some of it, oops, shit. Some of it may be sort of in the direction of, oh, sort of like having a couple little gemstones in it. Not necessarily red, but like that's the idea of it. I think that makes sense. And that is the basic idea for Nael. Is that that's her kind of look. She looks a little, she doesn't look like a sailor too much. She looks like she is, because she is a sailor technically, but she's not trained as a sailor. So her looking a little bit posh kind of makes sense from the perspective of like what her position on the ship is, which is that she's hired externally because she knows how to navigate really good. Not because she's a sailor, but because she can, like, she's very good at navigating. She doesn't get lost very easily, at least until I start rolling dice, and then she will get very lost very quickly. I'm very bad at rolling dice. But she looks a little bit fancy, a little bit too fancy for what her role is, which is like standing in the crow's nest and going, there's a ship over there, there's land over there, we need to go this way, Captain. All that kind of shit. And since, like, she does get, like, the item of, what does she get? What did she get by default? That's the wrong character sheet. Oh my god. That's the other French asshole. Because she came with a signet, oh, she needs a signet ring. Oh, shit. And she's apparently wearing leather armor, but honestly, that's, I don't care. Assume it's on underneath the outfit. I don't care. It's leather reinforced. It's fine. So she needs a signet ring, which I can definitely do. And usually that's like a pinky ring on like your right pinky. So that's like totally doable. You basically chuck it in like here. They tend to be pinky rings. Well, mostly for like dudes, but like whatever. And that's the general idea of it. That's the completion. That's what the progress today has brought. This is what it is. Oh, it looks really weird when you do like that. Oh, that's kind of cool, though. Hell yeah. I'm gonna export this so I don't lose it too bad. There we go. But a signet earring, still a ring, right? I mean, yes. But no, because you have to be. The whole point is you need to be able to stamp with it. You can't stamp with it if it's on your ear unless you have to like clip it on, clip it off. Ugh. The effort. Sounds just a little bit torturous. Or tortuous. Torture. Words. I don't words. That's why I've been arting instead of doing words. Words are hard. Okay, so now that it is 1:08 in the morning, it's now Sunday morning. Oh dear. You move your head close, go. Or I pick it up and I put it to my face like, I've stamped it now. That probably made a noise. Oh boy. Oops. Anyway, since it is now past 1 a.m. in the morning, my 2 hours of streaming is complete. And as such, we will be heading off to raid imminently. So for everyone in the chat who is perhaps new, who came with Songwriting with Joe's raid earlier, our raid call is Get Bready. The bread theme isn't particularly strong here, but that's what it is. We get bready around here. And I have a yelling bread emote that you can purchase for 200 channel points. The channel points are called toast slices. For reasons. Oop, and we have to hydrate. And so, of course, thank you all very much for coming. It has been a delight to attempt to design a character along with you all, and I'm happy with the progress that I have made today. As usual, on a Sunday, we will be raiding writer Greg, who, for those of you who are not familiar, is a writing streamer here on Twitch who runs 15-minute sprints, or 10-minute sprints? 10-minute sprints, and then a 5-minute break, and then a 10-minute sprint, which is productivity, so you can do whatever you need to do in that sprint. We're actually going to be landing in the middle of a sprint, so we can yell, and he'll make sure to say hello once he's finished his sprint while he's had his productivity time. So yes, thank you for coming. Hope you all had a lovely day and that you continue to have very lovely days, no matter what it is that you are doing with that time. Hopefully I shall see some of you around in the future. Goodbye. Bye-bye.